Alrighty guys, we are at my grandparents' house today and I'm going to be giving you all a tour of the sprinkler system that's here. So this is the controller. It's a Hunter X-Core. I think the doors have been open a bit because this is all yellow. Yeah, Hunter X-Core. It isn't programmed. My granddad and I usually just manually run it whenever we want to run the sprinklers. There isn't really any programs. I'm probably going to eventually get around to working out how to program it so that can at least run it on the watering days. My granddad tends to run it at night anyway. So we'll go ahead and start with zone 1. There's quite a lot on this system, even though there's only 2 zones. I think I can pull this off. You know, it goes down, I think. Yeah. As you can see, there's only 2 zones that are being used, which it's undersized. There needs to be at least 4 zones, I think, but I can't add any more in it for a reason that you'll see in a minute. Basically, anything needs to go under the driveway. So, got it on station 1. Let's set it to, say, 5 minutes. And zone 1 is all of the lawns, and it's all pop-ups, and I just did some work to the system, so still kind of testing it all. I actually was just running it before I started the video, and then I started the video. So all of the pop-up bodies, I believe, yeah, all of them are Toro 570 series, like what's at my house. But as you can see, they all have MP1000 nozzles on them. Well, they all did. In the beginning, they all did, because I didn't put this system in. This came with the house. And I really hate these, you know, there's a reason why. I really don't like these MP rotator nozzles. I find they always break. They do that, which that's just because there's not enough pressure, but still, they always break. They don't have good coverage, and I just don't like them. So I prefer spray nozzles, and so does my granddad. So I've been slowly replacing the MP rotators because sometimes they just stop working, like they won't pop up at all anymore. So I've started replacing them with spray nozzles. So that's still an MP1000, that's an MP1000, all 4 of these are MP1000s. There's an MP1000 there, and that's it. They're all the MP1000s that are original. The rest of them are just a random assortment of Toro nozzles that I had. And they don't all work great. All of these ones used to be blocked. See, here's a quarter spray. There's a half spray here, which is kind of messed up, that needs some help. There's a half mist here. This is a different lineup of nozzle. This is left over from my house, as you can see. That one's sitting up a bit higher because it's being fed from this. There was originally a sprinkler there, but this feeds the sprinklers on the back lawn, which you'll see in a minute. Here we have another one. I actually just replaced this body because the old one was too short and it wasn't popping up higher than the grass. So I put a taller one in here to raise it up, and it pops up higher because it's kind of uphill. I was thinking about running one out to this corner, but I'm not going to. So that's the front. Oh yeah, so this is one of the fine mist sprays. I think I need to put more time on the timer. Fine mist. There's a normal one over here, but this is like a 1/3. It's a bit more than a quarter, as you can see. So put it straight there. And then fine mist here again, and MP rotator. So we'll go to the back lawn now, because the back lawn is on with the front lawn, which is why there isn't enough pressure. If it was just this front lawn, it's enough pressure to run all these front sprinklers, but there's 5 more in the back that we added on later. That's why that's all messed up there, because there was originally a sprinkler there. I took it out and put a screw in fitting to feed the back lawn, and then just replace the sprinkler. So this is what the back lawn looks like. It's 4 360 degree fine mist sprays, and they're on taller risers as well. As you can see, this is what they look like, and there's 4 of them just down the middle. Really nothing too complicated. And then at the very end here, there's a half, which is running really weak because it's the end of line, but that's fine because it only needs to get to there. So yeah, and then there's another one there. So that's all of the ones in the back. These ones run great. These fine mist sprinklers, or the fine mist nozzles rather, are definitely the way to go for this system, or at least this zone, because they don't need much pressure to get good coverage. So I'll probably eventually replace all of them with those fine mist ones. So now I'm sure you're wondering what zone 2 is, considering zone 1 is basically everything. We'll go ahead and turn it on to zone 2. like I said, I'm eventually going to replace all these crappy rotator nozzles because I really don't like them, and he's my granddad. Go ahead, off, then back to here. Zone 2, we'll do 5 minutes. And this is some stuff that I actually added. So it's the garden beds, it's all the garden beds. There's drip irrigation in here that still hasn't been touched. As you can see right there's that. There's more down there which still hasn't been touched. But then over here, this garden used to be drip irrigation as well. But I ripped all that out and put in pop-ups because pop-ups are better. So these aren't Toro products. These are all Nita pop-ups. I think they're like 50 mil. They don't pop up very tall, which isn't really ideal in a garden bed like this, but it's fine. There's another one here. So there's quarter, that's a quarter. I probably could have gotten away with using a half there, but because that one there is a half, but that was a quarter, but I changed it. So there's that one, half here, nothing here. There's a quarter there, which both of these sprinklers do cover there. This one's actually facing a bit down, and then coming along the road, there's another half here, and one more here. And then this is that last quarter. This one again, I probably could have used a half, but I just used a quarter. Makes more sense in my mind. And the little bits of pipe that are around them all, that's not me, that was my granddad's doing. I don't think they need them, but he put them there, so yeah. Alright, and as well as those pop-ups on that same zone, I think I already mentioned, but there's drip irrigation in these 2 garden beds. There's drippers in here, I believe. I'm not actually too sure. This is why I don't like drippers, because you can't see anything happening. I'm assuming there is. But then there's definitely in this garden, and I'm probably eventually going to put like 1 or 2 pop-ups in here. So yeah. And then there's also this. This is a tap timer. We'll put it onto manual on. And this just does his garden beds. I don't know how often he uses these sprinklers. And he's actually got them sectioned off into 3 kind of mini zones. It seems that it's got it set to this strip here. So there's nothing special, it's just these little sprayers that I don't really like. As you can see, a bunch of them all the way along, just along a 13mm pipe by the looks. He did all this himself. My granddad did it all himself. I didn't do any of this. But honestly, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have done it any different. I think he originally ran it all in one shoot, but it didn't work because there wasn't enough pressure off that tap. Yeah, so you've got the valves here, so you can turn this one here on, this one off. Not quite sure which one this is. Oh, this is this one. So he's got some of them on risers and some of them are just banged straight onto the pipe. As you can see, seems to have one every 2 or 3 feet. I like the little bit that comes off there. And then that section ends right here, it looks. Yes. And then this one on, this one off. I don't want to have all of them off at once in case it's not good. For that section, that last section starts here. One there. He's got a few different kinds of sprayers, it looks like. He's got these red ones. One on the riser. Some more in there. These ones seem to be quite weak because they're furthest from the tap. That goes right up to the very end. See, there's one there that doesn't seem to be working. It's probably got dirt and there's a dripper on the end for some reason. I'll go and try and turn on the other 2 valves and see how weak it is. Because that's what he was telling me. He had to run them in 3 zones because they were weak. So, as you guys probably know by now, if it was me, I would have done pop-ups. rather than, see what happens if you turn it all on. Oh yeah, they just barely bubble up at all. I better put it back to how he had it set. Okay, that's the sprinkler system at my grandparents' house. Thank you all for watching.